The Roland Juno-X, the keyboard you want if you want to relive the 80s. The Roland Juno-X, all of the synth and none of the broken voice chips. The Roland Juno-X, you don't want to pay $4,000 for a used keyboard on Reverb.com. In Los Angeles, California on April 26, Roland announced the release of their latest Juno in a line of Juno synthesizers. This comes from a long line in history of the Juno synthesizer playing a specific role in the musical industry. The interesting thing about this keyboard is that it also emulates the Juno 60 and the Juno 106. But that's not all. It can also emulate more keyboards like the SH101 and the JD800. However, you will need to have a Roland Cloud subscription, which will be an additional repeating cost to your original investment of this keyboard. From release, this keyboard comes at a price of $2,000. However, they did pack a lot into this package. And they have also included an audio interface, microphone inputs, vocoder, and the full XV5080 sound library, as well as RD pianos. Now, one of the most interesting things about this keyboard is that it also has a thermometer in it. And what that does is that it emulates the changes that the original keyboards went through based on environmental temperature. So the keyboard itself warms up like the originals. This is typically not an issue with digital synthesizers simply because they do not have actual running analog oscillators that need to warm up. I've been online and I've heard arguments that it's just basically a plugin instead of a keyboard, and I can understand that sentiment. I've seen Roland in recent years make attempts to return back to analog, like the JDXA, highly plastic, overpriced, and just only 4 voices. Or their Boutique SCO2, which is basically their version of the Moog Model D in their Boutique format. In a world where everyone has their own version of the original keyboard, especially in plug-in format, it's difficult to figure out which one is best. Many musical companies have created their own version of their Juno, some sounding better than others. The Juno-X is a very full package, right out of the box, but it's not without its limits. On paper, it has very impressive specs. The key bed is great with its monophonic aftertouch, but I did start to run into some polyphony limits when I layered multiple Junos on top of each other with the XV5080. The I arpeggiator is a flexible sequencer, but had a sharp learning curve. I'm also not a fan of the small screen and having to develop the muscle memory needed to dive deep into the settings that lie beneath the control surface. Now, I'm not going to lie to you. Despite all those things, this keyboard sounds great. When I access any of the versions of the Juno it has, it sounds analog. It doesn't sound like a PCM sampled version of itself. The low end provides adequate energy for the sub to do the work. The effects are adequate, although I feel that the reverb on the unit could be a little bit more colorful. All of the presets sound just like the original to me. You definitely get what you pay for with that. There is something to say. A satisfying experience of having a real keyboard in front of you in a post-box world. That's what I love about it. It plays like a Juno. It feels like a Juno. It's a Juno. All the 80s feels crap, it's all there. All of the things that were popular in music that I was too young to know about in the early 80s, it's there. So can I justify my investment? Yeah, I sure can. But you have to really care about this. Really care about the history. Want a more involved experience than just working with a plugin. And if it's one of your first synthesizers, yeah. Will it be in better shape 20 years from now? Probably. But in the end, only time will tell. Hi, I'm Delio. If you made it this far, you've made it to the end of my first video essay I ever did on YouTube. I've been on this platform for a long time, and I deal with algorithmic challenges. Maybe it's because I have an old channel or what, I don't know. But if you made it this far, thank you so much. Let me know in the comments if you like this type of content. I could do more of this. I'm trying this on for size, and I hope you've tried it on for size too as well. So if you like this, definitely let me know in the comments below, and I'll see you in the next video. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, all the good stuff we all ask you to do. Please do it. It really helps us out. Thanks.